Good morning. I'm Amanda Carruthers, and I am here to talk to you about lead generation and actually creating customers to become loyal forever. So all the way from finding a lead, developing that lead, having the social skills to create a loyal, trusting customer at the end of the day. If you're new here today, I welcome you. Thank you for coming. And then if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. You will definitely learn a lot. I've been in the training, speaking, performance coaching arena for the last 25 years. I've worked in 144 different countries with nationalities, and I love bringing you the learnings that I get from actually being in the teaching and working with others and helping them grow and helping them learn, and then the ahas that I get. So I bring you a very organic form of information that comes from real life, time tested. Here it is. And I myself am my own business owner and have been for the last 25 years. And so I'm in sales myself. I'm in negotiations myself all day long. I'm in teaching all day long. I have a P&L I get to work with, right? So I am a business owner as well. And so I wanted to just share with you and take you along my journey and hopefully make your journey a little bit easier. And that's actually the point of this channel. So I'd like to talk to you today about the 3 things that I actually think about when I'm starting to take a cold call lead, meaning somebody I don't know at all, and I start to get to know them. And the biggest things I find that I need to work through is that initial, how do I make the call? How do I set the call up? How do I get ready for the call? Because I noticed, and I want you to check into your mind too, but I noticed that my mind goes, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I'm doing sales. And then all of the stuff in my head that I've ever thought about a salesperson when they sold to me comes up. And so I don't want to be that person. So those thoughts actually stop me from making a connection. And as I talk to several of the agents that I get to work with, I find that that's a common thing for them too. So I thought today this was a really good topic to start talking about how we get our mindset into talking to people and creating leads that then become prospects. Okay, so that's sort of the sales cycle part that we're talking about. So first of all, I want to just shift your perspective. The first thing that I really want to notice here is my thinking about it. Just like I gave you this example, that my thinking was saying, oh my gosh, I have to make calls and I'm going to turn out to be that salesperson that I don't even like myself. What do I do? I want to shift the perspective. And sometimes it's a daily practice because no one likes to get sold to. And quite honestly, in society today, we have so many sales moments that we're being sold to, so many choices, that the brain, frankly, is just tired of making decisions. It's tired of having to choose. It's not built for as many decisions as we make on a regular moment by moment basis. So we want to take that out of the sale. We want to take that away from the customer. What instead we want to do is we want to develop a kindness and a relationship with them. So all we're doing is we're not actually the salesperson at all. We're getting to know them to see if we might be able to help them. And if we can't help them, we're happy to send them somewhere else. But really our job is to facilitate a transaction to happen. Now, if I use a real estate example, we know that we have buyers out there that are looking for specific houses, right? They want their dream house, their next place to move, and it's really important to them. It's either important by price, by distance, by how many bathrooms it has, right? The shape that it's in. And so buyers can be very specific about what they want. You may not be the person to bring them their ideal house. You may. If you take the position that you are responsible for getting them the best house, it starts to put this emotional load and burden on yourself that, oh my gosh, can I actually do this, right? If we switch our perspective to the fact that we're facilitating a conversation, we're getting the most information that we can out of somebody to see how we help them on their journey. That's it. If we can connect them to a listing, then we're doing great, right? We want to connect to seller and a buyer. We want to connect them together. But our job is simply facilitating that transaction to here. So when I think about doing my lead generation calls, what I'm really looking at is I just want to call people and get to know them and find out what they're about, because I may or may not be the right person. And let me say more about that. I've gotten on the phone or I've gotten onto a Zoom call with a new client, and I start to notice myself just not clicking with what they're saying. Either they're too aggressive or too short, or they want to hurry too much, or they're asking me too many questions that indicate there's a fear or a scarcity going on. And I know that I don't work well with those types of customers because they push me and they want so much that I'm trying to guess their needs the whole interaction. So I don't end up working with those people very well. So when that starts, when I'm in the introduction conversation and when I'm starting to talk to people, I'm looking for the behaviors of what lines up with me naturally versus what kind of drives me nuts. If it's somebody that drives me nuts, they may not be my person. I would much rather spend my life force, since we only have so many days on this earth, with people that I really, truly enjoy and that we have synergy around. And I found that true for the clients that I work with as well. So my first piece to you is to look at how you start a conversation and think about it from the place of you're just learning information from this person to see if you can facilitate them to meet someone else. Meeting someone else is the buyer, right? Whatever the buyer is, okay? If you're not in real estate, who is buying the actual product? That works too. So you're just learning information. So I know that when I'm starting up my business, or I'm new to this, or I'm moved in a new territory, it's all about starting to go to lunches and connect with people from a very genuine place, just to start to get to know them. If you're in real estate and you're trying to do several leads all at once, it's how do you get in touch and present yourself in a way that is not hurried, that's real, that's genuine, and just asking a few questions to see if you can be of service. Right? So that's it. That's what starts to open up the conversation. So change your perspective to how you work in this capacity. So you're not actually in charge of the selling part. You're in charge of the facilitating the transaction part. Okay. It's a slight distinct difference. The next thing I want you to do is when you're listening to people, you're really listening. You're not only listening to the details of what they want, and if I stay with the real estate example, so many baths, so many bedrooms, 2-car garage in a certain part of town, right? Those things are just the basics of information, but I want you to listen beneath the words. I want you to see what they're really needing. Are they trying to get closer to work? Are they trying to make their family come closer together because maybe there's a divorce going on? You want to be able to assist the person in the transaction in a bigger way than what they're presenting, because that's where your value comes in. Remember, you're an expertise at this. No one else is the same kind of expert that you are. We are all unique and different, and you want to bring your expertise to the table. So when a buyer is presenting what they want, that's the topical, factual information, what we're really doing is presenting a listening to them, and we're listening wholeheartedly. I not only listen with my head, but I listen with my heart, and I see if there's a way that we can really meet their needs, really, really help them move along. So at the end of the day, listening to someone say they want five bathrooms and 5 bedrooms in a 2-car garage, if I really listen, the conversation might keep going, and I might start to pick up clues through what they're saying, that they truly want to be closer to a person that they're dating, or an ex that they're trying to have their kids close by with, right? If they don't bring that up, then how will I know? And once I really know what their true need is, then I can add my expertise. I might expand how far they're looking for their house. I might expand their questions of, do they really need this many bathrooms? And is this really helpful? Or would they be open to looking at something else if it met that initial need? Right. So I want to impart to you that what the customer brings to the table is often not what the need is. So we want to listen deeper. Okay. And the third piece I want to bring on you is that know the general issues that your buyers face. And I'm saying buyers in general. They tend to have certain themes that they're all working with. I know in my line of work, because I come from a background of leadership development and tons of coaching and training, that many of my clients come with a sense of a lack of self-confidence. And men do too. It's not just a woman thing. I know that's talked about a lot right now in the women's movement stuff, but really everybody has a lack of self-confidence in some way, shape, or form. Men express it differently than women do, but that's a general need that they have, is that self-development to get the confidence to do what they're doing better. And then they also have a need of understanding others. And so when I come to the table and I know that every single person I work with has a desire to understand others so that they can understand themselves, so that they can understand others better, that's one of the things I just provide outright, right? I just know that that's going to be in there somewhere as a core need that they have. So along with whatever they're asking to do in this transaction or this work that we're getting into, I always cover some of the core needs that I find the entire audience needs. And that what that does is it gives the client a sense that you really got their back, you are an expert, and you're watching out for them. This is what starts to develop trust, is that they can tell that it's not just a, here, give me what you got, let me meet my agenda and move on. It's actually, no, 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 let me show you that I do this work and that I care. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that right now. I have loved talking to you. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll be talking to you again soon.